All right, so the 49ers just finished their game against the Browns on Monday Night Football on October 7th, 2019. And I just had to get this video out really quick. There's not going to be too much analysis, not too much stats in this video. I just need to quickly get this out and give my opinions, basically. Because this is like the only chill week of school that we have had since school has started. So I just have to get this out real quickly. I don't know when there will be another chill week, so I just have to get this out. So I'm just gonna go position by position, and give my opinions on how each part of our team is doing so far. So I'm gonna start off with Jimmy Garoppolo, and it's been a mixed bag, I think, but for the most part, it's been positive. Now, you can point to the interceptions. You can point to the occasional lack of fundamentals where he just throws it in tightly contested spots and really risks interceptions a lot. And you can also point to the ball security, but granted, that is somewhat because of the snaps from Weston Richburg, who I'll get into the offensive line a little later. But Jimmy Garoppolo, for the most part, has been good. He's been making some good throws, usually. And Booger McFarland was being a little too harsh on him today on Monday Night Football. I think that if there was a little less pressure on Jimmy, then he would have been able to deliver some better balls. But, yeah. Next, I want to talk about the running back core, specifically Matt Breida. And man, oh man, in my eyes, he is a very special talent. He's got speed, he's got power, he's got agility, he's got everything you want in running back. He can catch the ball super well too. He makes a lot of diving catches. To me, he has the components to be one of the top running backs in the league. But for whatever reason, we keep signing running backs to get into his way. We signed Jerick McKinnon last offseason, who hasn't even touched the field. And this offseason, we signed Tevin Coleman, who granted has looked good in his limited amounts of playing this season. But I just feel like Matt Breida deserves to be the number one back. Then we have Raheem Mostert, who has also been very good. And Jeff Wilson has been very reliable at getting into the end zone. Next is the wide receiver core, and for the most part, I think they have been very good. But there is one guy, just one guy, who I want some more out of. Dante Pettis, man. He needs to be so much better. He drops so many passes. He bobbles so many passes. Yes, he made that big catch against the Steelers in week 3, and we wouldn't have won if he didn't catch that, but man, oh man, he just needs some more consistency. And even in this game here against the Browns, Jimmy put it right on the money for him. And if he had just caught the ball, he would have been in for a touchdown. But, I'm not going to be too worried. The rest of the wide receivers have been great. Next is going to be the offensive line. And overall, they have been really, really great with their run block especially. But the pass protection has been better since last season. Jimmy's only gotten sacked like twice this season, or is it 4 times? It might be 4 times now after this Monday Night Football game. But they have been much improved. And Justin Skule, I am very, very happy with what he's been doing. He could be the successor to Joe Staley when that sad day does eventually come, when Joe Staley decides to hang up his cleats. But overall, the offensive line has been really, really productive and really, really great. Now on to the defensive line, which I think is the best part of our team. Nick Bosa, Dee Ford, DeForest Buckner, obviously, and Eric Armstead, who has been really good in a contract year. And the best thing is that we also have depth. We have Ronald Blair, we have Solomon Thomas, we have plenty of guys that we can plug into there and do stuff for us. And I'm so happy Nick Bosa had this breakout game, because Niner fans had been seeing that Nick Bosa has gotten better and better throughout the season, and now the rest of the NFL can see how possibly, I don't know if it might be too much of an overreaction at this stage, but to me, he could be a generational talent, a Khalil Mack type, an Aaron Donald type, but it might be a little too early to say that. Next up is linebackers, mainly Dre Greenlaw, Quan Alexander, and Fred Warner. And all these guys have played pretty well to me. I don't really have too many problems with them. They've been great with stopping the run. They've been great in coverage. They've been great just flying all around the field, getting tackles. Quan Alexander has been so great for the locker room, and he's just been flying around the field, making tackles, getting in coverage, getting in the right spots. He is in the right place at the right time always. And Fred Warner, every time he's going to be tackling someone, he looks to punch the ball out, and I love that about him. And, our linebacker core, no complaints. Now on to our defensive backs, so cornerbacks and safeties. Richard Sherman's been great, as expected. Akello Witherspoon really, really stepped up his game this season. I'm hoping he'll be okay once he comes back from the injury. Jason Verrett in that short time against Pittsburgh did not look great, so they decided to go with Emmanuel Moseley, who was really, really phenomenal here today in Monday Night Football. Even if he got burned, he still was able to get back in the play and give his effort. He had a really nice batted down ball in the end zone, and really, I don't have any complaints with our cornerbacks. Jason Verrett still just needs to get his feet under him just in case someone else gets injured and he needs to come in. As far as safeties, they've done their job. I don't really have too many complaints. Jimmy Ward played his first game here at Monday Night Football against the Browns, and he looked pretty solid. I also saw in that preseason game, his first preseason game, I forgot which game that was, but he was looking much improved, and I'm hoping this is a sign of things to come because Jimmy Ward, they paid him money, and he has a contract that's going to span a few years, so it's better if he's productive than not. The injuries are still a concern, but things are looking up, I hope. Special teams. Robbie Gould. Robbie. Robbie Gould, in my opinion, was the second best kicker in the league behind Justin Tucker. I don't know if he's still there. His accuracy has been a bit of a concern. Now, one of these kicks was batted, and that's because of the long snapper. But he did miss two off to the left and off to the right. I don't remember which direction they went in, but he did miss 2 field goals here, and he has missed quite a few this season. But luckily, we've been either dominating teams or it's in garbage time, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. But if the game was on the line, I'm just not as confident as I used to be in him. Now I'm hoping he turns it around because he is a great kicker and super reliable when he's on his game. Mitch Wishnowsky has been just as advertised. Yes, we drafted a punter in the 4th round. Yes, it was Mitch Wishnowsky. But he's been great. I mean, I don't really have too many issues with him. He's been good. Yeah. Now we have our special teams as a whole. And Coach Hightower has just been coaching this special team so well. They're getting on the end and getting in front of kickoffs and punts, and they've just done a great job, and I've been really, really impressed with them. So the Niners are 4-0, so out of 4 possible games, we've won all 4. And there is still things that we need to work on. And speaking of which, we do have the next quarter of the season coming up, which is, or at least should be, tougher than the first quarter of the season that we've had so far. We've got the Rams coming up. We've got the Cardinals, who are a divisional opponent. We've got the Panthers. I'm not sure who's going to be starting at quarterback for them at that time, if it's Kyle Allen or if Cam Newton's going to be back. And we do have the Redskins, who do look to be in... They're in disarray. That should be a win for us no matter what. And but yeah, there is still things to work on, but very, very optimistic start to the season, and I'm very excited about this team right now. I am super, super stoked to see a winning team back here in San Francisco.